I feel like I should clap, right? That's a thing people do. Okay, so this is why I can't sleep at night. Size and scale and exploration of thermodynamics and consistency in cinematic media. Ant-Man sucks. I think we can all agree. In the MCU, we all know how Ant-Man's powers work. He shrinks and sometimes he gets big as well. But specifically in the MCU, when Ant-Man shrinks, all of his particles, they get closer together. Okay? This effectively reduces his size while maintaining his mass. So therefore, as for Ant-Man, he can no do that. That. Flying on an ant, how can you do it? If Ant-Man were to truly ride on a flying ant, and if he really maintains his mass when he shrinks down the same mass he has as a full Paul Rudd, a full-grown man, then he should be very concentrated, very heavy, should bore right through the ant, right through the earth, or at least the ant should not be able to take off. I can get when the ants can lift more than just their own mass, so maybe a little ant on the ground could carry him, even if he was as heavy as a man. That's a stretch, but he can't ride on a flying ant. Ladies and gentlemen, that is truly ludicrous. Also, when Ant-Man grows larger, his particles should get farther away from each other. He should become less dense. If any, he should start floating if he's less dense than air, or dissolve apart, or at least float, or be light, or something. God, I hate Ant-Man. This is especially frustrating because Ant-Man's powers make sense in the comics. They behave differently than in the MCU. Ant-Man's mass is not compressed. His particles are not compressed together. Instead, he gets rid of particles. He transfers them to an alternate dimension to which he can then call them back. So when he shrinks, he gets rid of mass, puts it somewhere else. And then when he does a big punch with his big fist, he just has all the particles come to the fist. So it's fist, regular fist, instead of small Ant-Man fist. Thank you. This doesn't even touch the most frustrating aspect of the MCU. I'm sure we all know what it is. Portable laboratory, Professor Pym. We hate it. I hate it. What is this? Do we all remember this, or have we all forgotten? Okay, here is a list of things that is wrong with this laboratory. Everything. The building is not connected to any sort of foundation. Instead, it is on wheels. So in an earthquake, perhaps this building would fall over or wildly shake at an enormous rate. Everything would fall over. Not great. Not a great design for a building. The building has a handle, like a suitcase, so when it's small, he can roll it around. But when it grows big, what does this mean? There are two gigantic telescoping steel rods through the entire building? No. Indoor plumbing? No, thank you. I don't need a bathroom in my dedicated work environment, okay? When he rolls the building, think about this. Think about taking the entire building and turning it at an angle. Won't all of the furniture fall over? All of this precious research that he's performing in this building ruined immediately as it falls over when the building is turned at a 30 or greater degree of an angle. I'm sorry, guys. Let me compose myself here, okay? Why don't we play a little game? How tall is the Grinch? I want to hear. Put some hands up. 5 feet? 5'6"? 6 feet? 6'5"? 6'6"? 7 feet? this Grinch right here, how tall is this guy in real life? You guessed it. He is microscopic. Okay? What? That's not what you guessed? All right. Where does the Grinch live? Anyone know? That's right, the Grinch lives in Whoville. And where have we heard from Whoville before? Doesn't that sound familiar? Horton Hears a Who. Wait a second. Where is the Grinch in this picture? He's right there. In Whoville. But let's not jump to any conclusions, okay? The leading Dr. Seuss lore analysts of the internet all agree in the Whoville in Horton Hears a Who is on a speck of dust, right? While the Whoville in How a Grinch Stole Christmas is actually on a snowflake and not on a speck of dust. This implies that there are many Whovilles, or as I will call them, Whosieties. They could be infinite. Think about how small they are. How many could there be? Is there one on every speck of dust? On every snowflake? Could Ant-Man travel to Whoville to save Christmas? That's okay. Just come in, take a seat, take a seat. So in the top left, we have the intro to How Grinch Stole Christmas, the movie version. And in the bottom right, we have the iconic scene from Ant-Man as he shrinks down. Now I want you to pay special attention here. These look pretty similar to me, wouldn't you say? I would say that these two videos are depicting the same thing, no? Now, keep this in mind. At the beginning of How a Grinch Stole Christmas, we are on a snowflake. Now, here, in the ending, let us watch the ending together.
Subscribe. Spoiled the ending. Sorry, I was just spoiled. Subscribe. It is a snowflake.
It's on a snowflake. Now, if you may have noticed here, the snowflake is still falling at the end of the movie. Okay? Now, the story of How a Grinch Stole Christmas takes place over multiple days. So there are some heavy implications here. How could this be possible? How could a story spanning before and after Christmas take place on a snowflake that is falling both at the beginning of the movie and at the end? Now, if we keep in mind that Whosieties are microscopic, when objects are smaller, they experience time faster. Okay? Think about Godzilla. He's very large, and when he moves, to us, it appears as if he's moving very slowly, right? So at a microscopic level, perhaps these Whos in their Whosieties are progressing at rates far faster than we are. Perhaps they're experiencing multiple Christmases in one Christmas for us. We could never know. And here is the thesis of my presentation. How the Grinch Stole Christmas 2000 is more accurate than MCU's Ant-Man in terms of thermodynamics, in terms of science as we know it. Thank you.